সো ইন আর্টিস্ট 7 আমরা যেটা করছি একটু অ্যাগ্রেসিভলি দরকার হলে অ্যাগ্রেসিভলি করব, সুপারফিশিয়ালিটিটাকে আমরা বাদ দিয়ে দিচ্ছি। এখানে আমরা আননেসেসারি ক্রিটিসিজম করছি না, আননেসেসারি টপিকস নিয়ে এখানে আমরা ডিসকাস করছি না, রাদার হোয়াট উই শুড টক অ্যাবাউট। না মাঝে মাঝে ইউ উইল সি দ্যাট একটু মেবি there is a bit of negative emotion, maybe there is a bit of anger, and the anger is for a reason. We are not giving vent to anger because we are better than that. But what we are doing is the anger is used in a constructive way. I mean, you can see the culture is going down. There has to be some anger. If you hold on to that truth, if you hold on to that essence of the culture, if you understand it, if you respect it, then it is very evident that you will have a certain kind of anger, some amount of anger. Whether you express it at all or you don't express it, it doesn't matter. But you must have some kind of anger in a constructive way. Now, how you channelize that to do the change, to make the change happen, maybe figuring out the problems, maybe pointing out the problems, maybe finding solutions, maybe providing solutions, maybe providing suggestions so that others can find the solutions. Whichever way you can, we need to know that something is far away from the culture. I mean, it is not about something that it used to be. I mean, I can understand some people are coming from that place, that it is something that used to be. I mean, you need to respect what it used to be, then you can go forward, you can make the changes, you can make it modern, traditional, whatever you call it. You can make those changes, you can make those evolution, you can go through that evolution, you can make it really modern, you can make it really progressive, but you need to respect that old stuff as well, you know, the classic thing. Now, why I am doing this, with not a glossy background, with not a glossy lighting effect, why I am not doing this? Because for this particular reason I am focusing on the content more. Now, it is right, it is absolutely right that sometimes you do all these things so that you communicate in a better way. That is totally true, but we need to look at the content, we need to respect the content too, and we need to understand whether the content stands for itself or not. Apart from the numbers, apart from everything else, whether the content itself stands for itself or not. That is very important. Then we can go for all these things. That is obviously we will have. But how you communicate? So we have different elements of communication. এখানে আমরা যেটা করব বা করছি অলরেডি, সেটা হচ্ছে যে একটু সিনেমা নিয়ে পাগলের মতো আলোচনা, সিনেমা নিয়ে একটু বাচ্চাদের মতো আলোচনা, লাইক এ কিড অর লাইক এ ম্যাড পারসন, লাইক এ ক্রেজি পারসন, বিকজ দ্যাট ইজ হোয়াট উই শুড ডু. You know, we are so passionate about cinema. We should do it like a crazy person. We should do it like a kid sometimes, and that's why I don't allow many people here, because they won't understand that. They will criticize that. Now, one thing you have to understand when you look at these festivals, first of all, many of them don't know how to do the interviews and discussions, to ask the proper question. Some of them can, some of them do. They do the events. I mean, you can do the events or what you can get out of that event. Two different things, you know. You can do an event and then you do it, you plan it accordingly, you choose your panel, you choose the questions, or maybe you are choosing the person who is going to ask those questions, how you treat the guest, all these things. Part of event management or part of management or part of the organizing committee of the festival, what you need to learn is how you do all these things. So it is not like just having an event, bringing some people, and that too you will see that is based on money and position. Now, you understand one thing. Suppose one person, he or she doesn't have anything apart from the love for filmmaking, right? Now, that person is trying to become a filmmaker. Maybe he or she is having just a camera or maybe a piece of paper. He or she can write the script, they can shoot with a crew, or maybe that person is doing a lot of things himself or herself, because that is the magic of filmmaking, that is the fun of filmmaking. You learn on the job. You don't have to necessarily go to a film school, you know. You do it, you learn it by doing. You do it and then you learn, and then you make your mistakes, then you learn. So it's a cycle. You learn continuously. Then you gradually move towards bigger projects and you learn more. You know how to deal with these things. So all these things are very natural thing if you are into filmmaking, because you are loving cinema. You are putting cinema first. Not the money, not the position. Now, what do we get from the positions? The real positions, the earned positions. You get the experience, the real experience. So when you take these people, whatever happens in the festivals, when you take these people, maybe in terms of jury, in terms of jury members, what you get is that experience. They can mentor, they can actually guide those talents. So as I started with, maybe one person is having just a camera or maybe a piece of paper. That person can write the script, that person can shoot, and he or she can make a movie with a small crew, sound, cinematography, writing, direction. Maybe one person is doing more than one thing, but you are making the movie happen. It can be a short film, it can be a feature, it can be a feature of only 1 hour, it can be a feature of only 1.5 hours, but that passion about filmmaking, that enthusiasm we are talking about. You need to tell a story, you are bursting out to tell a story. You can tell the story in a different way, maybe in your own unique way. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to think about anything else. Money, it's not a constraint, it's not a barrier, because I have to make the movie. I need to tell the story in my own way, in my own unique way. Maybe a sense of style, maybe I have figured out my own voice, my own way of telling story. I'm doing that. So money is not a barrier. Very important thing. Now, when you are doing an event that is based on money and position, can you imagine what you are communicating in that event? One person is having the money or position, or some people are having money or position. Maybe they are having a lot of abuse in the background. We are not going there, but you will see a common thing between or maybe among all the people there in some festivals. It's abuse, because that is what they are focusing on. So Woody Allen is a great filmmaker. Roman Polanski is a great filmmaker, but the moment you are focusing on them, you are centering around abuse. So when Roman Polanski, the name is called for, you are thinking about abuse. When somebody is saying Woody Allen, you are thinking about abuse, right? So people, how you choose those people, maybe you don't know them enough, but if somebody is telling you, if you have done your research, then you need to look into all these things. Now, money and position, with proper experience, they can guide you, mentorship, they can tell you how to go for the distribution, how to go for the production, they can actually guide you. But nothing is happening out of some festivals. Why it is not happening? You have to understand that. So what are we doing? Events, do we have enough events? Some festivals are having, some festivals are not having. They are having the brand value, that heritage, the traditional value they are holding on to. But apart from that, what you are getting? These people based on money and position. So ultimately, one person is trying to make a film. That person is not getting the money. Maybe that is becoming a constraint. The people you are bringing to the festivals, they are actually the barriers for money. They don't know how to make films in that way, that with that passion or enthusiasm. They talk about struggle, but that's a different kind of struggle. You don't need to think about that. When you take a piece of paper, you write the script, or you write the story, or write a treatment, or you take the camera and you go for the shoot. You actually shoot the movie. That is a struggle too, You are not stopping because of money. You are making the film no matter what. They don't understand that. Just because of money and position, you are bringing some people, and then some people are aspiring to be filmmakers. Maybe they have a lot of talents, but they cannot be filmmakers because they are looking up to the screen. They want to be filmmakers. They might have thought the story in that way. They could have told the story in that way. They could have made their movies in that way. But the barriers, again, money, and again you are pushing those narratives, money, fame, glamour, and all those things. Even if you have money and position, that's a great thing to have. Even if you have earned it, even if you have it, we are still talking about cinema in its pure sense, or cinema in its artistic sense. After all, we need to love our job. So at the end of the day, we need to love our job. We need to love cinema, because that is when we give great performances. I mean, we are taking money, that's for sure. We have talked about this, so I won't go into this again. But when we are talking about the art, the philosophy, the discussions we are having, the deeper discussions we are having, so money cannot be a constraint. You understand what I'm talking about? So money is not the only thing, but cinema is. We need to put cinema first. So position that can be earned in a respectable way. So we are looking for those positions. They can actually guide, they can actually mentor, not just in terms of networking. That is a part of it. That is not the entire thing, right? So networking is a part of it, but people who can actually guide or mentor, so that you can, like an incubator. In business we do the incubation. It's like an incubator, you can think. Similarities. They can guide, they can give you the insights. Maybe you are having some problems, they can give their own inputs. You can think, you can decide whether to choose or not, but you can discuss that experience, you know. You can make your movie. Those are important things. কঠিন তত্ত্ব নিয়ে আলোচনা হবে, অনেক কঠিন তত্ত্ব, এবং যে আলোচনার কোনো শেষ নেই, কেন এটা হচ্ছে প্রচুর আলোচনার জায়গা। এখানে কোনো কার্পণ্যতা করতে আমরা আসিনি। ইটস নট আ প্লেস অফ misery, it's not a place of, you know, scarcity mentality. So we are talking about abundance, we are talking about great discussions, philosophies. Now I don't allow people who don't like philosophy, or maybe they are not seekers, or maybe they are not artists at all, you know, the basic thing they should have, they don't have it. I don't allow those people. So it's a different thing. And the things you need to think about now, if you really want to make movies, if you really want to make festivals, you know, events, interviews, discussions, the panels you are choosing, how you are interacting with the guests, how you are interacting with the new talents, all these things together, you are creating an environment for the new talents. Now they can really make their film. It's not like that they want to make their film environment of wishful thinking. We are not talking about that. You are not giving them a chance to go towards frustration or depression. They want to make a film, they can make a film. So we are giving them an environment where they can thrive, where they can discuss, where they can meet other people. Maybe fellow filmmakers, maybe seniors, maybe mentors. That environment we are creating where they can interact. It's not like that some people are at the pedestal, they won't talk, they cannot be touched. It's not like that. You can ask questions, you know, questionnaire session, question answer session. You can ask your questions, and those questions, answers, it's not like a crammed answer I'm talking about. It's like an answer which can be really useful in your real life. Because film schools, people are going from film schools to watch those movies in the festivals. You're having a set of movies, you know, showing in the theaters during the festival timeline. People are going to and fro from this theater to that theater, to this cinema hall to that cinema hall. That there is a passion that is in the culture. Some people are film enthusiasts, some people are cinephiles, some people are aspiring filmmakers, great artists. They all are coming together in a festival, in a good film festival. Great discussions, even if they are not discussing it in the seminar hall, maybe they are discussing on the ground, you know. So that environment we need to create. Guests are coming, but the people we are keeping it in the panel, they are actually propagating the culture where we should insult the guests. So gradually what is happening? The guests are coming, we don't even know how to interact with the guests. So these things. Now Artist 7, it is open for the people and they can contact me anytime, as I have mentioned. We can have a great discussions. If I go to the festivals myself, then so obviously we will have the discussions. So we are doing that. But for other people we are talking about, you know, so that we can give them an environment, we can give them we can actually raise the standards of the festivals, if I say so, you know, provided we understand it. So there is a big gap in that, and